So, back with another video of this. I'm actually going to be doing two videos today. I wanted to do some more FTL because, well, it is a game I enjoy very much. I noticed my room is quite echoey, which probably led to the events of last episode being quite echoey. So if you hear any echo here, I'm sorry. I'm working on getting some soundproofing foam. So, dropping a little bit of ASMR on y'all. Today we're going to be using the Taurus Cruiser. And the thing about this ship is it relies on both ion and on drones. That makes it a potentially quite powerful tool. The problem is you do need to be kind of careful with how you manage your power consumption during combat. Because it is highly possible if you do not do the right thing, you can kind of get screwed. And in a case like this, it's actually very, very, very easy to actually beat a ship because it has no shields. It allows your drone to attack with zero issue. Contact civilian ship, no, got a good amount of scrap. Yeah, so I'm not really going to go check the store. I don't think we need to. It's very early in the game. Ooh. Well, so the engines are down. That's not good. But now I have their shields down. I'm just going to let... Wow. Thankfully I have an NG on the control. They are actually quite good at doing repairs. So... now I can just let my drone kind of pepper them and hopefully I can kind of keep them pinned long enough, and it seems that their laser is actually far too mistimed with the weapon here, which is kind of allowing for that to do very little damage. And this ion blast actually fires very quickly. See, it already is recharged and is now firing back off. Should probably have my NG here in the engines. Head over and grab that. Alright. I'm going to have them both head up over here to the drone room. I'm going to return them to their spots. There's another store, so I'm going to head up here. And hopefully... I get that. Ooh, and a Federation transport is under attack by a rebel scout. Well, that's not good. Shooting down my bolts. Oh, there we go. Send them over here. Try and fix the engine, and this is a particularly hard fight, unfortunately. Does not need to be, but they have this stupid drone. And if things would, oh my lord, if things would quit missing, this would be much less of a problem. Got to send them into the O2 to prepare that very quickly. I just need to hope that the shots here line up so I can not have my things shot down. I'm not even sure if this is a fight that is able to be won. Boy. You know what? We are going to actually restart this. Because frankly, I do not feel like dealing with that. I'm going to be honest. It's a little irritating that such a thing would happen, and this better not be the same case here. Oh no, it's just a combat drone on my end. Nice. So I'll just hit their shields. Oh, well, crap. I'm just going to have the whole crew run over. Okay. Thankfully, I have the ability that allows for my... Oh my god. Ooh, I have never seen this before. Well, that's pretty interesting. And now that that fire's out, open all internal doors to allow oxygen to return to that area. And that was a battle of just pure stupidity. Save the crew's positions. Probably should have ran from that, but frankly, it's a little irritating. Oh, and now they have this. And they have missiles. Great. And there it is, right into the med bay. Okay. And if it would like to stop missing, you know what, I'll accept the surrender. I just want out of this. Whoever thought giving all enemies missiles in this game was a good decision was wrong, frankly. Right. Yeah, I desperately need the repairs, so I don't really need anything else. Buy some drone parts and some fuel, then I'll be on my way. Why does everyone have to have missiles? And why do my shots have to repeatedly miss? And why does that have to happen? Thank God the missiles are offline. Now they can't actually even touch me. Gonna send these two over here to repair the cockpit. Ooh, and they are offering a slave that they have. So, welcome to the crew, Ariel. You can, let's send everyone back to their stations. And I will put Ariel on scanners. Close all doors. I'll put Ariel on doors. I'll just... Okay, head over to the stress beacon. Oh, wow. A very rare event that you can get there of actually getting a crew member, but now I have a very large crew. That's always very nice. It allows you to fill up all your subsystems pretty effectively. And now I can actually just let this just kind of hammer down on that. I'm just going to let the ion disable most of the systems on the ship, so my drone can just have an easier time. And here comes the solar flare, which I can't avoid. Okay, best place it could have possibly been is right there, because that's right next to one of the vents for the airlocks, so good. Mining base, no life forms. A little unfortunate. I would have liked to get an event, because I believe there's an event with that. Some ships around the station. Listen for anything. Need possession of enemy ship intact. Yeah, I know that you can do that event if you have a bio beam or anything similar. I'm not going to accept surrender because I'm pretty sure I can get way better stuff out of them. Have them repair that. Then everyone return to your spots. Hotkey to save the stations. I got a good amount of scrap, so that's pretty good. Ideally, I would really like a drone recovery arm, which is an item that allows you to not use whenever you use drones. You actually have the chance to, and wow, yeah, they're definitely gonna get away. And it jumped. And I took way too much damage. So I'm gonna have a couple of people run in there and fix that up. and everyone just go back to their stations. Well, that sucks. Thankfully, the exit is fine. No way to repair, and I gotta go through a nebula. Now, nebulas can tend to be quite dangerous because you get things like ion storms, which just can make your life a living just nightmare because they disable tons of shit. And yeah, that's great. Like you see, literally half of my energy just gone. Doesn't matter. And oh crap. And I died. And that's why I hate ion storms. Is because they are not only stupid, but a load of crap. And looks like we're going to be playing... I don't want to play the Taurus. I kind of play the B variety of the Taurus, the Vortex, which we saw yesterday. So I'm going to head down to that distress call. Get fuel. Oh, and they upgraded my reactor by 1. How nice. Alright. I'm going to jump down to this nebula. Hope I don't get an ion storm. Thankfully, I did not. So I'm going to turn on the anti-personnel. And I'm going to head to the med bay. And I'm about to lose the personal defense drone here, but it doesn't matter, because although NGs are not necessarily the best at fighting, it does seem that just using the med bay is more than enough to keep the enemy at bay. So then the anti-personnel drone comes in and helps clean shop. So I'll turn him off. I'll turn 2 system repair drones on. And that's done. So I'll turn them back off. And it looks like, although we took a little bit of damage, thankfully we did not die. Go down to surface to investigate. Bring it back to the ships in hope of finding some help for him. Seems he was in worse health than we thought. He collapsed on the ship to the ship. Doesn't look like he's going to make it. If you have a cloning bay, I'm actually quite sure you could save them. In that case, it becomes a option you can actually use. It's quite a good option. And it looks like they have a drone that'll shoot down all of my stuff. Or that might just be an anti-missile or anti-drone drone. Okay. Heavy ions. Now disable that, and then I'll go focus on the weapons, even though it really doesn't matter. Now, I'll focus the heavy ion on both of those. or both of those on the shields. Oh man, let me tell you. Now there is nothing better than actually getting to record again for once. I apologize for any echoes again. Can't really help it at the current moment. So it's just kind of, it is what it is. Might have to deal with it for a little while until I can get some level of just padding for the room. The room's quite big, so it makes sense there is quite the bit of echo, and I'm not going to surrender my crew to slavers. I don't even have crew to hand over. So, ooh, that is a nasty looking weapon. Can't quite recall the name of it at the moment, but it looks like it's going to do a crap ton of damage. And speak of the devil. Yep, there it is. Disabled the shields. Hit, and then immediately hit the weapons. Get that offline so it can only fire a single shot. And then I'm just going to keep hammering those two positions. Ooh. Take a slave. Well, I do not... you know what? Don't condone these slavers, but I'm glad to have saved one of the members of this group and now have him on my crew as kind of just a way to make sure the shields stay up a lot more. I'm actually going to put an extra bar into the shields, and then I'm hoping within these next few jumps I can get a good amount of weaponry, and it looks like I'm going to have to actually very heavily start focusing things down. I'm going to wait for the heavy laser to charge, and I'm going to wait for the ion to charge. That'll go off first. Okay, good. Weapons. And it missed. System repair drones. Okay, good. Took down the weapons, so now I'm actually going to hit the cockpit to delay the FTL charge. And yeah, hit the shields again, then hit the engines to also delay the charge. Then one last shot to the engines should... Oh, what? How could they have possibly... That's a load of crap, and I hope the game knows it. Yeah, that was a bunch of crap. The FTL should not have charged because I took it offline almost immediately. And that's the one thing I dislike in a lot of games, is when you do something right, but they just arbitrarily decide you deserve to get screwed for practically no reason. Yep, and they're in the shields. Yeah, and I'm going to hit them in the O2. I'm not going to accept their surrender because I hope I can actually get something a lot better out of them. And this next shot from the heavy should finish them off. Excuse me. Okay, gonna head down here and then head up to the store. Inquire about their specialty. Upgrade the door for some scrap. Okay, that's quite nice. You know, get an extra free level of doors, and then, well, I don't really have anything to buy from the store, but that was a worthwhile jump for the doors because my crew is not really going to be the best at dealing with it's not really going to be the best at dealing with fighting borders, even with the anti-personnel drone. So it's best that I have an extra layer of protection so I can hopefully vent the oxygen from whatever rooms the enemy is in, just to keep them held down. And I'll buy 2 fuel and then head up to the exit. Well, 1 jump until the exit. Too dangerous, or check the asteroid field, and ooh, I actually did manage to get a good amount of scrap out of that. Maybe there'll be something at the exit. Slavers. Yeah, we'll attack them. I mean, why wouldn't we? The last couple of times we have fought against them has been quite successful. Okay, and that is the weapons down. So now I'm actually going to go ahead and hit the engines. Heavy laser, and then hit the... Ooh. I will accept the offer. I will actually have him head over to engines, so I can have the engines manned, which will give me actually give me a good amount of extra evasion. So then we will head to the next sector, and this is actually quite unusual for sector structure, but you know, I'll take it. I'll head to the rebel controlled, because then I can probably get to a rebel base, which will actually allow me to unlock a new level of ship. So that'll be quite nice. Oh, intruders on board. Yeah, I'm gonna activate the anti-personnel and then send the human in to... Gonna have a system repair come in. Wow, this is an absolute mess. Yeah, I do not think I can actually even... No, I think I'm dead. There are just fires in every single room, and literally no way of... And yeah. Okay, yep, nope, gotta head over there. So I lost a crew member. You know what? Hangar. Boy. That was an unwinnable run. That was quite literally the worst case scenario. Well, you know what? I say we give this one last try. And go with the Kestrel. Okay, off to an okay start. We've got a shop fairly close. An uneventful jump, which is not good at the start of the game. I really need scrap. I'm moving to examine the station. Okay. I'll move in down there. Try and be a hero. Attack the pirate. Okay. So let's charge up the weapons. then we're going to just, I'm going to actually wait for the missiles to charge. I'm actually going to turn the engines up right away. Ideally what I want is either a really good like bomb or something, so I can just go through shields. Or for a laser that gets better with every single shot. And I think I will take their bribe because I would really like to actually have a stock of missiles in case we get later in the game and I don't really have a way through shields. And there we go. Dead. 3 fuel and 14 scrap. Nice. So I'm actually going to jump up here and see if I can find something else. Nope, nothing. Getting a lot of empty jumps in these playthroughs. Usually you do not get this much. I'm going to reject their toll. Ooh, that's a particularly nasty looking weapon they have there on the side. It's the same as mine. I do not like missiles though, because they tend to be a massive pain. I can take the burst laser, hit the weapons. Then we're going, oh no, I do not think the missiles will actually be required. And there we go, they're dead. Leaving behind 1 fuel, 1 missile, and 14 scrap. Now we'll head up to the distress beacon. Send the crew. Ooh, you know what? Yeah, those giant alien spiders are really no joke. You are guaranteed, like 10 times out of 10, you are going to lose a couple of crew members. Burst laser on the shield and an Artemis missile at the weapon. Nope, I need the drones down. Oh, and that was death. And that's not really a good sign that I took so much damage off of that. You know, the interesting thing about doing YouTube is and watching other YouTubers, you start to realize that they always have something to talk about, and then you also begin to realize that as you start to do it, you realize, man, they must really have a talent if they know what to actually talk about. Because I will tell you, it is not easy coming up with things to talk about. Like, what do I talk about? Ion bomb. That could have been a lot worse. Could have been like one of the way worse bombs. Ship breaks apart. Outpost hails. Gives me 2 fuel, 2 missiles, and 18 scrap. So I actually think I'm gonna go ahead and buy a 2nd level of shields. Yeah, you realize they have to have some talent to actually do commentary over all this. So I'm gonna go with the abandoned sector. That way I can head through mostly friendly sectors and hopefully be able to gather more resources. My only way to really jump is down here, so I'm actually gonna go up here and then down here. You realize, man, it takes talent to talk about things, because then you're just like incredibly just busy all the time. Like what do you even find to talk about? I mean, I guess I could talk about uh, the newest upcoming things, and the Lanius. Yeah, these guys are interesting. Their whole race just drains oxygen from rooms like no tomorrow. I'll take that offer. Yeah, realizing it takes so much effort to actually come up with come up with these things. Like, I try to think of things to talk about here, and I suddenly realize, wow, like it's honestly incredibly hard because you need to know your audience, and you also need to do it all while uh, playing games. So it's very interesting having to do all this as a YouTuber. But all in all, like it's not too crazy, honestly. Um, so I guess today I'm gonna actually have to end up talking about just to kind of fill in the space here, just some stuff I've been doing recently. Recently, went to go to the drive-in. I'm not sure if anyone who watches, goes to the drive-in actively. Uh, but gotta say, it is quite a fun experience when you go, and you got people there with you. And ultimately, you get to just go watch a movie in the comfort of your cramped, smelly car. Uh, you would think that would mean I hate drive-ins, right? It's like just got something that's cramped and smelly if you actually enjoy it. But no, I do. I think there's a certain aspect to it that's kind of just social, where it's like, oh yeah, let's go to the drive-in. Ooh, wow. Hmm. I actually got Alanius, so I'm gonna have to move him to Shields. Uh, but yeah, it's quite the interesting thing. Because when you go to the drive-in, there's kind of a couple of expectations you probably have regarding what you're going to be doing there. And I think the biggest one is, you're going to be watching a movie. But then, it's kind of like this last time we went. There's always the chance that something goes horribly, terribly, awfully wrong, and watching a movie just isn't really the biggest concern anymore. Well, it didn't go terribly awfully. Wasn't a big. Okay, so now I'm getting all jumbled. But anyways, to put it into layman's terms, which isn't that kind of weird? Layman's terms. Hmm. Anyways, yeah, it's just kind of weird. In just kind of little way. Anyways, I don't even know what the heck I'm going on about anymore. Here, I actually think I'm going to buy a slug member. I'm going to put them on sensors. Um, so that is to say, I went to go see Shang-Chi this weekend. And honestly, it was a very, it was fun. It was a good movie, and it was all right. I mean, I know some people, specifically with like Marvel movies, it's not their favorite, not their favorite things in the world. But you know, I personally enjoy them, and I actually do think as well that there's quite a bit you can get out of watching the movies. Like, they're just a fun romp. It's kind of like the Fast and Furious movies. Like the Fast and Furious movies, that absolutely ridiculous. There is quite literally, it is quite literally nonsense. I mean, uh, spoiler alert to all of those who have not seen the latest one. I'll give you a couple of seconds to perhaps skip a minute. Yeah, in this latest one, they go absolutely insane with it, and they go to space in a car, and it's the dumbest thing ever. Uh, I mean, it makes no sense. I mean, in the movie, they try and justify it, but it's still stupid either way. I mean, I still thought the movie was an absolute. Uh, it was still an absolute joyride, like all the way. It was just so crazy. It was one of those things where you're like, how could I not enjoy this? So you kind of just sit down for the ride, and you just let all this bonkers stuff just you just let it go. But but yeah, yeah, it's one of those movies where it was just ridiculous and crazy, just all the way. I have a good way to actually keep that on, and I can probably upgrade quite soon to having both a missile and a heavy laser up. Asteroid field. Oh, get 6 fuel. But yeah, honestly, yeah, it just the Fast and Furious movies have always been those movies where it's like that is just the stupidest thing. But then, at the same time, it's also like, you know what? That was so much fun. I don't really get a problem with it. Now, moving on to a new subject. What was it? Oh yeah. Um, if you haven't seen with the recent GeForce leaks for Nvidia, yeah, quite a few things got revealed for the service that we did not know about previously. Like quite a few things, like an untitled game by Respawn, which uh, very many desperate people, i.e., me, uh, are hoping that means Titanfall 3. I doubt it, but I'd really like it to be the case. Okay, now I'm gonna disable that fire. Yeah. So, speaking of which, I really want to do a video on Titanfall one of these days because that is one of my all-time favorite games, and I just think it does not get enough credit. You know what? I will take that offer. I'll have that so I can have all those weapons up. But yeah, I think it's one of those things where uh, you either were really into that game or you just kind of saw it. We're like, oh well, Battlefield 1's out, and you kind of just skipped over it at first, and then it became kind of like this underrated, like a gem of a game. Oh wow, that was a good amount of scrap. Yeah, so you end up having it become kind of like this gem people didn't really like appreciate it at first. But as time went on, people actually became a lot more appreciative of the game. And well, then its support kind of just floundered pretty hard. But what can you do? Sometimes when a game just ages, it just doesn't. It just does not get the same attention as it did previously. And you know what? That's fine. It's not always gonna work out like that. And that's another ship down. Ooh, and 21 scrap. So now I just gotta wait for all this to load back up. I'll jump up to the exit. Dang. I will, however, take another bar of power, which will bring me up to 25 evasion. So if I check here, get 35 evasion. Ooh, NG controlled. That'll be good. Yeah. Another thing that's kind of interesting is, ooh, interesting. So I'm gonna head up to that. Another thing that's interesting. There are a lot of games that got just kind of uh, they kind of became almost like just as time has gone on, people have either just kind of like completely overestimated how good of a game they were, or they underestimated how good of a game they were. Like, I will make the very big case that I think honestly, what was it? Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, how am I forget? I'm losing my train of thought in the middle of a video. Is the absolute worst thing that happens. Ooh, that's quite good. Buy another bar pound. And now I have 3 shields. Oh, holy crap. Yeah. The useful thing about this guy is you can just kind of do that with him. It's just open a bunch of doors. If there's fires, have him stand in a safe place, and then he just drains all the oxygen out. Wow. Some games kind of they form like this, like they call it like a cult following because it's small, and it's a game that probably was like overlooked in some fashion, or that fans feel was just kind of not given its due. I feel there's a pretty decent there's a pretty decent chunk of games like that that you kind of get, and then there's other games which of course are like instant classics. Like you've got Portal and stuff, which is just that is considered by many to be like one of the best games ever made. And right now, I am currently. I would even make the case that perhaps F. I'd even make the case FTL is quite the. It's got a bit of a cult following. Most of the games by this developer actually do have one. It's quite the interesting thing. Okay, and I really need to beat this guy. Oh, thank God. Empty. Oh, God. Finally. Then Artemis missile at that helm. Thank God. That was terrible. Ooh, wow. 7 hull points repaired. Missile drone part. 4A3 scrap and Nichols. Well, that was a massive pain in the butt that I had to deal with right in the middle of talking. But yeah. A game I will actually kind of maintain is a game I actually feel does not get enough. It just doesn't get enough, love in my opinion. Is the original Portal actually? I do not think it gets nearly as much love as Portal 2, and I think that's a shame because really it is one of those like it's one of those games which is just so good in what it does. But in some ways, I do get why it's not as popular as Portal 2. So, like I will even say I actually started like playing the Valve games by playing Portal 2 and not Portal 1. That might be because it's not as it's Portal 2 is not as available in some ways. I don't really need that drone, so yeah. So it becomes like this. It just kind of becomes interesting. So yeah, pathfinding in this game is kind of bad sometimes. Um, yeah, ultimately I find it to be uh, quite weird that it doesn't receive as much attention. I mean, I think in like the two games, I do a little bit of speedrunning. I feel like Portal's the one that, in the that regards, gets way more attention than Portal 2. Whew, that was pretty bad. But yeah. I mean, I do like that it has a bit more presence in the, speedrunning scene. I just think it's sad that most other players aren't really like looking at it the same way that most people do. And it's disappointing. I genuinely love the first Portal. I think its build up is just genuinely really, really good. Yeah, this is a bad situation. I think I might actually die here. That's not good. And there goes a crew member. Okay, so I need him to kind of get... Actually, I need him to like get in there right now and start repairing that. Oh, no missiles. That's why. Oh crap, I just lost another... Oh no, I lost two. Oh my god, I wasn't paying attention. And I think we're gonna head to the hangar. And I think I'm gonna call it there with quite the crushing defeat. Well, folks, this has been an hour of FTL. Holy crap. I would like to thank you all, and have a nice day. This is Curious, signing out.